This is WLGG 88.1 FM, Asbury Park.
We all can agree that raising a family in these times is challenging, with everything being so exposed and accessible through social media and the influence that come along with it. How do we find the balance?
Does your child feel confined and has no outlet?
Sasha, meet me in the bathroom so we can take our Instagram pics, because you know once I get home they won't let me out.
Would your child come to you when they need help?
Mom, I'm in trouble and I don't know what to do.
Do you know the signs when your child is crying out for help?
Mickelson, you don't listen. The school has called me and now I have to attend another school meeting. This time you lose your video games for 2 months.
Do you and your family need access to resources?
I lost my job. How will we get our bills paid?
Does your family have expectations and boundaries for mutual respect and understanding?
I am the man of the house, but my family does not respect me.
Finally, a show where families can feel supported and get resources for guidance during these troubled times. Presented to you by Good News Community Action. Family Matters, a radio show, aired every Saturday afternoon from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. A new segment discussing all things and situations relating to families. Family Matters Discussions, a radio show for everyone to listen together.
Alors bonsoir tout le monde, bienvenue dans Family Matter, présenté par vous de Good News Community Action chaque samedi, sorti à 4h pour 5h et puis répété encore chaque dimanche 3h pour 4h. Moi c'est animateur Elna, moi qui ensemble avec moi, co-animateur Monty.
Hello, bonsoir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Family Matters. Today is September, so happy September, everybody. I feel like the days of the week, the days of the month, the days of the years are going by so quickly. Can you believe we're in September? Is it the last quarter of the year? Are we in the last quarter yet? Yeah. We're almost there anyways, right?
Not there yet.
Yeah, pretty
Last
much.
quarter, I think
It's almost over.
November.
You have fall.
December,
Yeah,
January, February.
you have fall, and then it's winter.
But we just get out of summer.
Okay, well,
so we got fall.
it's almost
and then
over.
winter.
It started getting cool this week. Didn't
Yeah.
you feel it?
Not
You didn't feel
really.
it?
Just a little bit, just a little.
Well,
too.
next week it's gonna be super hot, so it's gonna feel like summer. Like we're starting summer all over again. So you guys still have a little bit of time if you haven't gotten into a pool or gone to the beach. You still have time. Next week you can do it. It's fun. Go and enjoy yourselves and enjoy the nature, the beautiful natural resources that God has given us. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so this is Family Matters, presented to you by Good News Community Action every Sunday from 4 to 5 p.m. and repeated again on Sundays. Did I say Sunday? I meant Saturdays from 4 to 5. Repeated again on
Did I do
Sundays
that?
from 3 to 4. I'm your host, Elna, and I have with me my co-host, Monty.
Hello, everybody. It's wonderful to see you and see you again. Or meet with you again, should I say.
Okay, so I want to tell you guys the way that you can listen to this program. So the ways to listen is you can go on the website to goodnewsradiotv.com, or you can go on Facebook, WYGG Good News Radio, or you can dial in to 518-906-1596. And if you are listening to us on Facebook, please give us a like, a thumbs up. You can continue to follow us. I think we're also on YouTube. We have this itinerary here from Good News Radio. So Good News Radio is also on YouTube. It's at WYGG 88.1 FM. It's also on Facebook at WYGG Radio, and also on Good News Radio FM. or it's on goodnewsradiotv.com. So there's plenty of ways for you to listen and for you to share the content of this program with family and friends who are not familiar with it and whom you think could benefit from the information that we are sharing with you. So again, we are looking for sponsors to donate to the radio station, because like we always say, this program and all the programs on this radio station, the entire radio station is supporter supported. Listener supported.
Exactly.
It's listener supported. That means the people that listen are the ones that support the radio station. So if the listeners don't support, then there won't be a radio station. That's what that means. So we encourage you to go on, and I have this information. You can go to Cash App to 908-489-9820 to donate to the radio station. You can go online to Good News Radio TV and click on, you have to look for the donate button on the menu that's on the website. Or you can just write a check or drop off cash to 414 Asbury Avenue, Asbury Park. You could put it in a mailbox or slide it under the door or give it to someone here at the radio station, so your support could be counted. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
And you know what? We're not even really asking for a lot of money from everybody. If everybody would just give $10 or $5 or $10, you know, that would be more than sufficient to help to keep the radio station going.
Yeah,
So-
if you did like $5 a week times 4 weeks,
$5 a month.
or well, I mean, a week, that's like $20 a month, right? So you know, it would go a long way. And if you kept that going on a consistent basis,
Commitment.
you know,
Yes.
because you listen every week, so why not support every week, right? A little bit will go a long way. It's making a big difference, right?
But actually, it would also help us to bring more and better content to them, and find better things for you. We have some things coming up. We have some really good things coming up. But like I said, with your support, your continued committed dedication, your donations help. They will go forth and helping us bring forth so much more content for you and things that we're looking to do for you. And we are looking to do some really good things for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, we want to be your community radio station.
Yeah.
We want to be
That's
your
what we
radio
wanna
station, your
do.
community radio station.
Absolutely,
Something
yes.
that you are proud of. We're going to have t-shirts coming out soon. I am a WYGG listener.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that absolutely. We want people to know who we are, know who you are, and we want you to be proud of your radio station.
Right, and if you're doing something special, or there's something special going on in your life, or within your family, or even your church, you know, because Haitian community, we like to go to church, you know, or you have a business or something, you know, and you want us to know about it, you want us to share that information with the community, because we are one family. So we will be happy to do that for you, but we need to know that you are supporting the radio station as well. Okay, so
I want to give out a big shout out to WYGG Radio and the gala that they just put on last week. It was awesome. It was incredible. So I have to say that many people out there, they had ended up having a really good time. And if you weren't there, you missed it. If you weren't there, you missed it. It was an awesome time. We had a beautiful time, both in the Lord and as people, you know, coming together as a community. And the singer was awesome. The singing was great. The music was awesome. The food was pretty good.
Yeah. Nous voulons dire merci avec tout le monde qui était supporté Radio Bonne Nouvelle, fundraising banquet qu'il a fait dimanche passé, 27 août. Il a fêté 29 anniversaire. Ça l'a été un paquet de monde là-dedans. Tout le monde était bien habillé. Tout le monde était réjoui. Everybody had a great time. Spécialiste musique là qui ont été gagné, il était vraiment bon. he sounded so good. You know, he's very talented.
Yes, yes.
He kind of reminded me of what's the American singer? Travis. Is it Travis Green?
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
he
so.
kind of looked
Really?
like
You
him
think
too.
so?
Yeah, he
Right.
looked like Travis Green to me. Yeah, and his voice is like, you know, because I do a little bit of singing. When I tell you, his voice has a wide range, and it's really good.
Yeah.
So if you guys weren't part of it last Sunday, you really missed out, and I hope next year you don't miss out. That next year you're first in line to purchase your ticket so you can support. So everything was done superbly well, from, you know, the MC to the musical guests that we had, to all the presenters, and we got special accommodations from Vin Gopal's office.
Yes.
That was
Yes.
really amazing.
Thank you,
Thank you very much,
thank you.
Senator Vin Gopal, for your support of the radio station.
Yeah, yeah.
And speaking of voting, or Senator, voting is around the corner, right? So we got our calendar for voting in the mail recently. So it looks like Election Day is November 7th, right? But they want you to know that if you had registered to vote by mail, you're gonna get your mail-in ballots, and then you can just return the ballot to the drop box in Monmouth County, which is in Freehold, by 8 p.m. on November 7th. You could do that. Or you can vote early in person from October 28th to November 5th. And they're going to tell you all the locations where you can vote in person. For us, it's at the Neptune Senior Center, which is 1607 Corliss Avenue in Neptune. But they have other places too. For those of you who live in Long Branch, there's a Brookdale Community College is where you would go for that. Those who live in Howell, you will go to Adelphia Fire Company number 2. And then I don't think Upper Freehold, if anyone lives in Upper Freehold, it's on Hope Fire Company number 1. So you should already know where you need to go to vote in person, but I think it's a really great service that our, you know, elected officials have provided to us, to be able to vote early, so that you're not waiting in a long line on the actual day, which is November 7th. So take advantage of it. I always take advantage of early voting. You can
Yes,
even do it on Sundays.
absolutely.
It's Monday through
I
Sunday.
love older voting.
Yeah,
I love
the
it.
week before.
Yeah.
So, and don't forget, Election Day is November 7th, and the polls open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Alright, so, yo deja ban nou schedule vote lan, yo di kon sa ke si ke ou te mande pou on aplikasyon pou ka vote nan mel lan, y ap voye yo ba ou nan la kayo, epi ou gen pou rempli li, epi remet li nan Monmouth County vers 8 heures nan 7 novembre. Si ke ou vle vote en person, ou ka fe sa bonheur, komanse Oktobre 28 jiska 5 novembre. Et puis pour nous même qui rete boy ici là, c'est dans Neptune Senior Center 1607 Corliss Avenue dans Neptune. Et puis pas oublier jour yo ouvri dans semaine ça 28 octobre jusqu'à 5 novembre lundi à dimanche. Et puis pas oublier que 7 novembre c'est jour pour nous voter, yo ouvri pour yo à 6h du matin pour 8h du soir. All right.
Weather today, September the 2nd, 2023. It's a beautiful day out there. It's such a beautiful day. If you like flying kites, if you like parasailing, if you like doing any of those things, it's a beautiful day for you to do it out there. Going to the beach and just hanging out with your family and friends. It is such a beautiful day. It's only 72 degrees, sunny, and it is the high, the high for today is 73 degrees, and the low will be 66. So go out and enjoy the weather before it changes and it's too late.
Yep.
Pretty soon we'll be complaining about how cold it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So don't forget that the lines are open if you want to call in and talk to us. 732-775-0220, 732-775-0225. Pas oublier que ligne ouvri pour nous si que nous voulons relais parler ensemble avec nous, c'est 732-775-0220, 732-775-0225. Et puis vous écoutez Radio Bonne Nouvelle, Family Matter, ou bien Affaires Famille. All right, you're listening to Good News Radio, Family Matters, on the air with Elna and Monty. All right, so Neptune is having Neptune Day on September 9th from 12 to 5 p.m. It's at the middle school parking lot. You guys know where that is because a lot of your kids go there. It's in the parking lot. They're going to have food vendors, petting zoo, carnival games, and a whole lot more. They're going to have a lot of vendors, and I hope those of you who own small businesses, you took opportunity to reserve a table so you can promote your small business to the community. And like I always say, that day is very special because everyone that works in the township is going to be there, and some from Monmouth County as well to support, so you can get to know who the leadership is in Neptune Township, as well as who works in the courts, who works in the zoning department, who works in the recreation department, because this is put together by the Neptune Recreation Department. We're very familiar with those people over there because our son works for Neptune Rec every summer, and he does such a great job. They love him. And he loves the kids that he helps out at camp. So, Pablo que Neptune a célébré Neptune Day 9 septembre, midi à 5 heures. Jour là, c'est 10 septembre, dimanche là. C'est un bon lait pour tout le monde sortir, pour nous réjouir, pour nous apprendre à connaître qui monde qui travaille dans la cité de Neptune, et puis pour nous réjouir ensemble avec petit nous. All right. So, tomorrow, which is September the 3rd at 10 a.m., Forward Church is having a back to school by the pool.
Yeah.
So it's going to be at the Fort Monmouth Recreation Center, which is located at 2566 Guam Lane in Tinton Falls. Okay, so if you want to swim, you will have to pay $10 just for the swimming part. But if you don't want to swim and you want to just participate in other activities, as well as enjoy some good food, and benefit from the giveaways, the back to school giveaways, you're welcome to come tomorrow starting at 10 o'clock at the Fort Monmouth Recreation Center, back to school by the pool.
Come on out, have some fun. It's going to be good food, fun, and games. There are going to be games, sports games. There are also going to be a pool, and there's some games, foosball and pool and other things, shooting pool that is, inside the building. So there's a lot that we can do. It's a very nice recreation center right there on Tinton Falls on the left-hand side, where the community center over there.
It's Fort Monmouth Recreation Center.
Yes. This is going to be a really good time. But you're also going to have a good time in God too. So if you want to come out and have a good time that's worthy of family, that's safe, come on out and enjoy. Come on out and join us, and we look forward to spending time with you and talking with you, playing some card games with you, whatever you like to do. And don't forget, some good eating with you.
That's right. And this is being sponsored by Forward Church.
Right.
Where a pastor, Richard Worsley, is the pastor, and his wife, First Lady Worsley. L'Église Forward a fait back to school by the pool. Il y a bay provision l'école pour tout le monde. A bien manger, jouer, nager dans la piscine. Il dit bienvenue à tout le monde. Ça fait dans Fort Monmouth Recreation Center, 2566 Guam Lane, dans Tinton Falls. C'est dimanche, de 3 septembre à 10h du matin. All right, so that was all of our announcements. Now, on to our topic. So we are still talking about back to school, what families will need to know, okay? And then news in the hood. That's our topic for today. So, the fun parts of summers is almost over, right? Because kids are going back to school.
I'm not giving up so soon.
And there's some fun to, preparing to go back to school, right?
For some people.
Yeah, because we've been announcing a lot of events in the community that were put on for to help prepare families and children to go back to school. So I think that was a lot of fun stuff. Remember, like with Community Karma and everything that they
Yes.
had to offer.
Yes.
Now back to school by the pool by Forward Church, and there were some other things too that we had announced. You know, so kids got to go clothes shopping. Hopefully, some people like to wait until the last minute. You like to wait for the Labor Day sale, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Some kids wear uniforms, and then some kids get to buy, you know, clothes that they like to wear. They hopefully got their backpacks and haircuts and sneakers and school supplies, and hopefully you didn't have to pay too much money for that stuff, right?
And you don't really have to pay money for your backpacks, because you can also go to Community Karma and to the program, Back to School by the Pool, and get your backpacks for free.
And then we had announced another church that was giving out free backpacks.
Yes, yes.
So, because I know backpacks are so expensive.
They are expensive.
They're no longer like $20.
$20. Yeah,
They're like
yeah.
$50,
Yeah.
$70. Some are more. You know.
But
They
no,
have-
for that's one fun thing for the kids, that is going school shopping. I mean, right, Josiah. Our son Josiah is back there working on the board. And you know, y'all like that part, right? About going back to school.
shopping,
Right.
buying your sneakers and stuff, right? Your drip, as they like to call it. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
So hopefully parents were able to take advantage of the free or the tax holiday,
Yes,
right? Because there was
absolutely.
tax holiday, because you know we have to pay taxes in New Jersey on items that are not food. so you don't pay taxes on food. Well, not prepared food. Prepared food you do pay taxes on, but like
Yes.
food that you buy from the grocery store, you don't pay taxes on that. But so there was a tax holiday on school supplies up to and including laptops. So if someone needed a laptop for school, like college students, you know, or even high school students, you know, you could go and buy the laptop and not have to pay the taxes because
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I could have got me a laptop.
well, yeah, it's for everybody, I
Absolutely.
guess, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're a student in life; you're always learning, right?
I go to YouTube University.
University, yes. I think we all do, in one way, shape, or
Absolutely.
the other.
Yes.
So yeah, we learned about the tax holiday through Senator Vin Gopal's office. So it's a great thing that they did that, because you know that could really drive up the cost. You know, the cost of a lot of things have gone up. It's like inflation did not skip any parts of our lives, right? Everything that we're used to buying, we're paying like double, triple for. So every little bit helps, and I am sure that parents appreciate the tax holiday. So in preparation for back to school, there are, we want to talk about COVID, because that's still a thing.
For anyone who may have just called in, please call back again. Somehow we got cut off. The connection was we missed the connection. So if you please give us a call back. We'll be glad to hear from you. As you were saying.
Yeah, I was saying that COVID is still a thing, and
Oh,
actually
yes.
it's going up.
A different type of variant, that is, yes.
Yeah, so we want to think about our kids going back to school. You know, some schools have like thousands of children in one building.
Interestingly enough, what I'm understanding and what I'm hearing is that it's more so people who actually received the vaccination
That's getting
that
this.
are getting sick the most.
Oh,
It's
well,
mostly
but that
mostly
doesn't
the-
preclude anyone else.
I don't, not that I doubt it, because it's like the cold now. It's like the flu.
Yeah,
It's
so
pretty much like the flu. Unfortunately, though, when it gets you, it gets you. There is no working around it. There's no more
I
power
had
through
it.
it.
I'm telling
you
you,
can forget that.
I do not wish COVID on my worst enemy.
Yeah,
Okay, and I don't have enemies. I would like to think I don't have enemies, but it was so bad. I thought I was dying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was the first and only time that I had ever gotten it.
Mm-hmm.
It is not fun. If you've never gotten it, you better thank God. Okay, that God spared you from this thing, because it's not a joke.
Listen,
You know,
the best thing to do is to drink your teas, drink your juices, get your exercise. Exercise will help your body build its immune system more than you realize. Exercising, drinking your teas. I recommend a good turmeric and ginger tea or oregano tea, something like that.
ouais, bon thé gingembre qui est turmeric là-dedans.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, I recommend that.
And cloves. Don't forget
yes.
to put the cloves. Mettez un petit jus of là-dedans.
Now, mind you, I put cloves. She said that because I put cloves in my tea.
It's good. It still tastes good.
It tastes good, and it really does work. I'll tell you, where I work at, a lot of people was getting sick, and I felt the pain in my throat starting to happen. I drank tea that night with the clove in it, and it knocked it right out. I was fine. So
That's my new best friend now.
I do, right? So I drink that often, but be careful with your cloves because cloves are very strong. They're
Bitter.
very strong.
Oh my
yes.
God.
So you don't want to put too much in. I want you to say, oh, cloves, good, and put a whole bunch in there.
Don't be clove crazy.
And you'll be sucking your tongue in by the time you get finished to the second sip. However, absolutely, by all means, drink your teas. Drink plenty of fluids in your water. When I say fluids, I'm not talking about alcohol. I'm not talking about juices. I'm talking about different things that will help. Juices, water, things like that, teas that will help you with your call. Okay. So.
Ingénieur lan besoin moun ki te essaye rele nou te gen un problème. Si que vous voulez rele ou ka rele encore la pay attention pour le ka répondre. All right, so we were talking about COVID and you were talking about teas and
Yes.
how it can help with that.
Absolutely.
But I want to talk about COVID in the sense that what the parents need to be aware of for the kids that are going back, all those kids in one place.
That's what I was leading to. I was talking about the fact that if you do your exercises prior to for prevention. However, once you get COVID, you don't want to overdo it and just keep going to work and trying to power through it.
Right.
The best thing for you to do is to lay down, get your rest, drink plenty of fluids, and let it pass through. That's the best thing for you to do.
Okay.
Right? Because if you don't, you can really hurt yourself trying to power through COVID. Go ahead.
Okay, so in terms of the COVID protocol for schools in New Jersey, children and staff with COVID-19 symptoms are going to be expected regardless of your vaccination status or previous infection status, because some people think if I had it before, I'm immune now, I lived through it,
Yes.
I've already had it, I'm good, that's not the case.
I was
So
gonna say,
they're
it's like- it's
going to
not-
be separating,
Right.
children or anyone really, staff or children that have symptoms from others until they can be sent home. So you can expect if your child is exhibiting some COVID symptoms,
Yes.
you're going to get a phone call. So make sure you have the school. We're going to talk about that later. The school number saved in your phone so that when you get a call, it's going to show that it's the school and that you'll know, oh, this is my child's school and I need to pick up this phone. Because let's be honest, a lot of us don't pick up numbers that we're not familiar with.
True.
So save the school's number so that you can see when they're calling, because they're going to call you if your child has symptoms for you to come and pick them up, and then you're going to have to go through, go get them tested, then they have to stay home. So if a mask cannot be worn by the person who's exhibiting the symptoms, they're encouraging the teacher to wear masks, because I don't think they can tell the kids to wear a mask, but at least everyone else who wants to wear a mask because it's optional should wear a mask. So just protect yourselves.
Yeah, and others.
In protecting yourself, you're protecting others.
Absolutely. So if you feel sick at all and you start to feel like something's coming on, wear a mask just to protect other people. And in doing so, you're protecting yourselves, because if you go and infect other people, and then when you're feeling better, you're going to go back, and then those infected people are going to reinfect you. And nobody wants COVID 2 or 3 times.
Right.
So you know what? So just do your best to do what you can do to help everybody else and help yourself. Go.
You're listening to WYGG, Good News Community Actions segment, Family Matters. So we are talking about back to school, what families need to know, and using the HUD as it is the first Saturday of the month. I'm Elna and my co-host Monty. So we're going to continue with guidance for families, okay? So it's important for parents and guardians and families to have a role in their child's education, right? There is an office called the Office of Supplemental Educational Programs, which is available to multilingual learners, which a lot of our listeners, their kids are multilingual learners because they not only speak English, but they also speak Creole, or especially the ones that are coming in now under the Biden program and other immigration programs. So Creole might be the only language that they understand now, or some may understand Spanish as well. So there is an office that is regulated by the Department of Education in New Jersey that says that if your child's home language is something other than English, then they are identified as an ML, or a multi-language learner. Then that child will be provided with an array of English language programs through the school district. So we invite you to learn about educational programs available for newly enrolled students, with the ones that need language support and who speaks another language besides English. And make sure that your school is aware that your student is a multilingual learner and they need language resources and support through the school. And don't forget, they are supposed to send forms and documents home in the language that the child speaks or the parent speaks as well, in addition to English. So we've seen that a lot with Spanish. You know, you see the English version on the front page, the back of it is Spanish, but we have yet to see that with Creole. So hopefully with the new laws that says that the documents need to be provided in the language that the child speaks in, you'll probably see more material being distributed in all languages. Okay. So we want to talk about what parents need to do in terms of supporting their child with, going back to school, because I think education is a family thing. Right?
It definitely
It's
is.
a family responsibility.
It
It's
really
not
is.
just the school district. It's not
Yes.
just the teacher.
Right.
It's it's the parents and it's the student too.
Exactly.
Everybody.
Even more so, listen, it all starts at home. It all starts at home. And the best way to get a good education starts with a good attitude.
Yeah.
If you don't have a good attitude, or you don't have the right attitude,
I like that.
or you don't have, or you come in an attitude with the wrong attitude, and you're coming off the wrong way in the classroom, you're going to infect other people.
Yes.
And then, and it's going to not just infect, but affect other people, affect other people who are actually going there trying to learn with the right attitude, ready to learn. And you're coming in there with an attitude of I'm pissed off, I'm mad, I'm angry, and I feel like I want to make everybody else just suffer with me. That is the most wrong thing to do. Okay, it's just like in church or business or whatever the case may be, the first thing and the thing for you to do is to leave your problems outside the door. Come in the school with a fresh attitude. Now, I understand that a lot of us, even people in my age, when I was going to school, or whatever case it be, or coming up and growing up, a lot of us have certain problems.
Yeah.
And we have problems, and you have that thing that our parents are like, what goes on here stays here, so forth and so on. But
That's the code.
if you're going through something that's really bad, and it's really hurtful, or is really causing a problem for you, you may be able to get help for yourself and your family by speaking up and saying something. So a lot of times people don't have what they need due to pride.
Yeah.
But it's pride has no place when it comes down to physical or mental, especially mental needs, and
Right.
when it comes down to things like having enough to eat or whatever the case may be, or
Right.
clothing,
and that is so true what you're
know.
saying, and I was gonna say that do what families can do
Mm-hmm.
to help their child to not have such a bad attitude. I'm sure,
Absolutely.
like you're saying, there are some other factors that can contribute to a child having a bad attitude to
right.
even start with the school day. But if mom and dad or aunties or whoever it is, grandma, grandpa, whoever it is that's responsible for the child's day-to-day care and well-being, if you could make sure that you get those other things out of the way. Like, let's take that as this is not the reason why we have a bad attitude. Being prepared in terms of having clothes, having,
right.
you know, shoes, having your hair done. Because
Right.
nobody wants to look crazy, you know, everybody wants to look good, right?
Right.
So provide them with what they need, with their hygienic needs. Make sure that those things, that they're well groomed, that those things are done. Make sure that they have food to eat. If they don't have time, because school starts so early. Oh my goodness. It's like nighttime.
Yeah, and that's
You know,
we can't. The
make
parents
sure-
can't be lazy. You know,
Right.
you know,
Make
yeah.
sure either you're buying things that they can grab and take with them and they're
Right.
eating it on the
Right.
bus
Yeah.
or they're eating it on the way if you drop them off.
Exactly.
Or make sure you fill out that application, the school lunch or whatever, so that they can eat breakfast when they get to school, you know, or you're stopping somewhere and picking up something. Make sure they're fed because I'll tell you right now, when I'm hungry, I have an attitude, okay? I'm a diva when I'm hungry. And I think I'm already a diva even when I'm not hungry.
Anybody
But
got Snickers?
It's a whole lot worse. It's a
Anybody
whole
got
lot
Snickers?
You know?
So you know,
So-
yeah, but a lot of times, yeah, there's that term called hangry, you know, and a lot of people actually do. They get so hungry that they get angry. It's like
Yeah.
it affects their whole being.
Right.
Right.
Right. Make sure they have their book bags.
Yes,
You know.
yes.
Make
Make sure
sure the night before that you help them with their homework. You check to make sure that they did their homework. If they're not able to do their homework, that you provided them with the resources and the help that they needed to be able to get that homework done.
Khan Academy, people. Khan
'cause it-
Academy. I
It does
say this all
not
the
feel
time.
good when
Yeah.
you're the child in the class that was not prepared.
Right.
You know,
not
and
only
other
that,
people can pick up on that,
Yeah,
and
yes.
they can see that. You
yeah.
know,
And it's embarrassing when you're trying to, you know, for a lot of kids, you know, it's embarrassing when you're trying to be there or trying to be able to learn the stuff, but you're having a difficult time
Yeah.
learning it, or
Yeah.
you didn't get it before. You know,
Yeah.
maybe you fooled around in the class, you know, the year ahead or whatever case may be, or coming into, and you really didn't get it. You know, listen, it's going to take us as parents, and I can speak as a parent myself, that you know, and I have very good boys actually.
yes. Oh, best.
But you know, at the same time, there are issues and there are different things that need to be addressed. I never thought that I would have to be on top of my boys in that way, but come to find out that there was times when I'm thinking that they're doing the work, or I'm being told that they're doing the work, and so forth and so on, and come to find out that they really weren't doing the work. So we have to be, you know, steadfast. We have to be on top of it. We have to make sure that the work is being done. And there are times when I felt like, I you know, was on my own. I was on myself. I blame myself because I knew that if I had known that they weren't on, you know, getting the work done, then I would have been making sure that that work had gotten done, and then they wouldn't have fallen back. When they start falling backwards, my friends, my listeners, when they start falling backwards, it is that much harder to catch up. And you know, a lot of times they think that, you know, we always think that, you know, oh, well, I'll do it later. I'll catch up, so forth and so on. And then even if you look at it, the same thing for us at work. The same thing happens for adults at work. It doesn't stop there. It's the same thing for our children at school. You start falling behind at work, and then the next thing you know, you're over inundated, and now you're all stressed out because you're trying to, you know, do the work and trying to catch up with your work, but you can't, and now you're worried because you feel like, because you know your boss is about to get on your case. Right? So the same thing happens in the classroom, but we have to be an example for our kids.
That's
So,
right.
and we cannot be lazy with them. We have to step up and make sure they're doing the things that they need to do.
Right.
And
Because
like
you're
a-
training them.
Right.
You're training them in how to
So-
be responsible
exactly.
because what
Right.
they're watching, they're paying attention, they're
Yes.
absorbing,
Yes.
they're learning.
Yes.
So, and you making sure that they do what they're supposed to do, you're teaching them how to be responsible adults, and this is what they're going to be doing when they themselves are in that position of being a parent or, you know, being responsible for a job or for, you know, going to college and stuff like that.
Let me speak to our mothers. You know, when it comes down to our children and wanting them to constantly and forever be our babies.
Those are our babies.
They will
yeah.
always be your baby,
Always.
but you have to teach them how to be adults. You have to start speaking to them as adults, young adults. You have to start telling them, okay, you're not a baby anymore. You're young. You're getting to a point. You're a young adult now. I'm preparing you because they're already children. We have done all that with them already, but now it's time to start preparing them to be young, responsible young men and young ladies. A lot of times we're hurting our children by keeping them so subdued. We're hurting them by keeping them in diapers, if you will.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing when you try to, hold on to them as babies and our children. Look, we have to make our young men grow up. The young men have to grow up and be young men for you, your family, and also the family that they're going into.
That's right.
You know what a lot of our women are dealing with right now. You have young men or our young men that are actually young boys. They're supposed to be young men, but they're actually young older boys. And you can't get them to do or take care of the responsibilities that they need to be taken care of.
Yeah.
It is. I took my son. My son came into work, and his mom was really thanking him a lot for putting air in the tire.
Yeah,
and so forth
my
and so on.
baby put air in my tires.
You hear that, my baby?
Oh man, I'm so happy.
This boy is 16 years old, about to be 17 in a few months, and taller than her, almost taller than me. But
But he did that though.
But he did that. He did that. He put air in the tire. He knew how to do it. He knew how much air to put in the tire. He knew where to look to see how much air goes in the tire and how to gauge it. Not only does he know how to do that, he actually knows how to change a tire because I teach them these things. So the thing about it is when the guys heard that at the job, they was like, what? Man, you way ahead of a lot of other children, a lot of other young men because mostly all they know is video games.
Video games.
Listen, I'm a grown man. I work, I pay bills, I know, and I do what I need to do to take care of my household for the most part. Now, my wife might say, I don't know, there's some things I want to get done still. but
Everybody's
and
a
actually,
work in progress.
right,
It's okay.
right.
I'll give
So-
you a pass today. I don't know about tomorrow though.
So the thing is that the young men need to grow up and learn. And my point is that I play video games with my son sometimes. I'm a father and a friend. But see, you have to be a father first. You have to be a mother first, right? My son is giving me the thumbs down. But you have to be a father first.
That's right.
Let's not try to be our children's friends. Let's not do
Yeah,
that. Let's
yeah.
not without establishing respect first.
Right.
Not without establishing what needs to be known first.
Right.
Let's stop trying to be our kids' friends and be mom and dad
Right.
first.
I
There
mean,
can
be
a
friendly.
friendship. Yeah,
Be
there can be a
friendly
friendship.
with
There
the
can-
approach that
Yes.
they can come to
Yeah,
you
exactly.
with whatever the situation is. They
Exactly.
know they have a confidant in their parents.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, my mom's not going to judge me. My dad's not gonna yell at me. They're gonna listen, and we're gonna work through this situation. That's
Now,
what you
I'm
need.
not even going to say that because my sons know at certain areas, at certain points, that if they do certain things or whatever, I'm probably going to yell at them.
I mean, but that's not all they're gonna get.
Exactly.
They're gonna get a dialogue.
They're going to get exactly. I may yell at them. I may fuss at them, or whatever case may be. But I'm going to talk to them. Okay, what happened? How did this happen? And I'm going to explain to them the reasons why what they did or did not do is or is not going to work. What's the best thing for them? So this is what we need to do. We need to, and not only that, explain to them how to better get a better reaction, or how to they could better have done whatever they needed to do in order to get the right outcomes. You see, it's important to talk with our children, not just always point down at them. It's important for us to share our downfalls, right? Because that's, children, a lot of times our children are looking at us and they're thinking that, we're this mountain. This needs to get out. This needs to get out.
Yeah.
They're looking at us like that we're this mountain and we're stuck back in the old ages. This is
Dinosaurs is what I call
exactly,
it.
right. They always get that ancient. We're ancient, right? We're ancient. But in order to change that, in order to get them to a point where they will talk to us, you have to be in a place where you can be open and listen to them.
Yes.
You have to be to a point where you understand what they're talking about. Listen, there is an underground, whether you want to believe it or not. I don't care how precious and how
Sweet and innocent.
little Johnny, or little Sue, or I'm telling you, there is an underground, and they all know it.
They
And
do.
if you don't understand the language and you don't understand what's going on, you will not be a part of that, and you will be completely
And be
lost.
a parent that's trustworthy.
Absolutely.
That your child can trust you
Exactly.
with this information.
There you go.
Because if you're the kind of parent where your daughter's coming to you with something that's highly sensitive, highly personal,
Yeah.
and they're looking for guidance from the one person that should be in their corner
Yeah.
above all else,
And then you're on the phone talking
and
about
then
it to
you
somebody
take
else.
that information to your friend, who's
Yeah,
then gonna
yeah.
take it to
Yeah.
their friend,
Yeah.
and then next thing you know, the whole world knows about it.
And their kids are listening,
Right.
and so forth and so on. They hear them laughing and talking on the phones, and now
Exactly.
everybody on the block and everybody in the neighborhood knows about what happened.
Don't be that parent.
Yeah.
It never ends well.
Be that confident. Be that confidant for your child. That, like you said, like that person that your child can be respect and feel confident in coming to you and talking to you. Be somebody that they can talk to. Be somebody that they feel they can fit. They can. When the world is against them, they know that they can run to you.
That's right. You're their rock.
Exactly. Don't
Yeah.
be that other person when the world is against them, or they feel like the world is against them, and then they come to you, and then you, the person that's supposed to
you're
be there for
beating
them,
up on them
you are a
further.
part of everything
Yeah.
else, and now the comfort where they're supposed to have, which is home, is now,
Shattered.
it's a shattered dream for them. And
Yeah.
trust me, it's a very their mentality can be very fragile at this point as well.
Yeah.
Other thing, during this time in life, in school right now, this is the time when everybody starts looking at them.
Yes.
And I don't mean looking at them in a bad way. This is the time when everybody starts looking at them for college, for careers, for
Leadership opportunities.
Exactly. Football, basketball, whatever. This is ninth grade, 10th grade up. This
Yeah.
is where people will really start looking at them. So you want to get them ready and get them geared to going
Yeah.
in the right direction of things that they are interested in.
Career-wise.
Exactly.
Think career.
Exactly.
High school is not there. There's no more games. It's like, what do I want? What am I going to go to college for, or what am I going to do once I leave this era in my life?
Right.
And that's where the mentality should be.
Yes.
But we have a lot of information, and we're almost done. So we're gonna have to come back to this probably next month. But I wanted to encourage parents ahead of your child starting school. And I think they start on Thursday.
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
You start on Wednesday on Neptune? Okay, some kids start Wednesday, some start Thursday, some start Friday.
Depending on what area you're in.
But this next week they're going to be starting school. I want parents to get involved.
Yeah.
It's not just, they're going to school and that's it. They're
Kick
the
them out the door
teacher's
and
problem
throw
now.
them
They're the principal's problem. No, you're going to school too, parents.
Yes.
You're also in
Right.
school.
Right.
So you have to get involved in your child's education, okay? Parents
Know
can
what
get
they're learning.
involved in many kinds of ways.
Yes.
And like I said, save the school number on your cell phone, okay? Make sure your child themselves have a cell phone to reach out to you in case of emergencies. We did talk about emergencies last time we had this topic. Make sure that you have access to PowerSchool so you can follow how they're doing academically. Okay.
I ask my children every day, what happened at school today?
Yeah.
How was school today? What did you do?
Absolutely. Ask
What'd you
them
learn?
questions. And
Yeah.
don't take, it was good. Nope.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
that's not
I
in
want
there.
conversation. Conversation. Let's
Yeah.
hear some sentences. That's what you're going to
There you
school
go.
for.
That's it.
Let's put that work to those skills to work,
Yes,
right?
let's go there.
Talk to the principals and the
Mm-hmm.
teachers. Attend school activities. Help make decisions about school, because there are sometimes that they have to choose classes, or there's a project. They're on the fence about what they want to do. Talk to them so you can help them decide what they need to do. Volunteer at the school. Those things are very important, because not only is your child paying attention to see if you're getting involved in their education, they gauge your involvement
That is true.
by
That is true.
if you care.
They gauge
Because I've heard
their
kids say that.
involvement in school by your involvement or
Exactly.
non-involvement.
Exactly,
Yes.
because I've heard kids say, "Oh, my mom doesn't
Yeah,
care."
exactly. Or they not gonna do nothing.
no,
yeah.
they don't care.
They don't. Yeah, yeah.
What do you
As
mean
long, as
your
long
mom
as I
doesn't
bring,
care? Your mom absolutely
as long as I bring
cares.
home a C, I'm good.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. What is that?
That's
No. So I want you guys to get involved. There's going to be open houses. Go to the open houses. There's going to be parent-teacher conferences. Please schedule and go to the
Yes.
parent-teacher, because the school's looking
I
at that too.
cannot tell you
The
how
teachers
many
are looking. The
times we
principals
have
are looking.
gone-
Who's attending? Who is showing up
Yep.
for this child?
We cannot tell
You
you how
know?
many times we've gone to parent-teacher conferences and the teachers are so astounded that we showed up.
We both showed up.
Yeah, exactly. They talk
And-
about all the time that parents are not involved. They do not get involved in their child's education
Mm-hmm.
or what's going on or how things are going on in the classroom. The person that you send to school can go to school and turn out to be a whole completely different person by the time they get to that school's door.
That's right.
You understand?
That's right.
Now, I'm telling you, you hear me when I say the person that you send out your door can turn into a whole different person by the time they get to the school's front door.
Oh my goodness. I was going to talk about this
Mm-hmm.
because that's a controversial thing right now, because there have been right here in Monmouth County, there's a couple of school districts that I guess they what they did was they took this matter to court, right? Because there are some kids that are changing their identity
Oh, yes. Yes.
in school, and the
Yes.
parents are
I wasn't
unaware
even talking
of
about
it.
that part, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
the parents are. We can talk about this another time. The parents are unaware of it,
Mhm.
and these school districts in Monmouth County wanted to be able to tell the parents, "Oh, Michael has changed his name to Michelle."
Yes, and he wants to be a different person.
Right.
Yeah, right.
So, but there was a judge a few weeks ago in August, Judge David Bowman. He said no. Let's put it on hold for now. So he hasn't really decided the case, but for now, it's temporarily blocked. School districts cannot tell
let
the
me help
parents.
people understand something. Well, usually when something like that happens, and they don't readily say, yeah, we need to let the parents know, that means that they're looking for another agenda, or they're being pressured to have a different agenda. And the agenda out here, my listeners, in other states, it has already been agreed upon and already in action that if your child wants to change their sex, the school will take care of it. They don't have to tell you. They
Oh,
don't
wow.
have to bring you in, but make you involved. It
Wow.
is a law that they don't have to do so. It is your child's decision, and they will do so and set things in motion without you knowing a thing.
And if that is the case, don't you want to be the parent who has that kind of relationship with
Exactly.
your child, where your child will come to you first
Yes.
and say, "This is what I feel. This is what's happening with me. This
Yeah.
is what I'm thinking."
And as much as they feel like that they want to do this right now, I can tell you also that there is a lot of suicides that a lot of people have killed themselves afterwards because they can't change things back. Because that's what they thought they wanted and found out that it wasn't really what they wanted. They were just going through a phase or whatever case may be. But they're so strong about it at the time. But the fact of the matter is that there is so much and so many steps that goes along with that it should not be something. And for I do not agree that the state or anybody else takes upon.
if my child does something, the state is not the one that's going to be in trouble for
No,
it.
they're gonna call you.
I'm going to be one in trouble.
They're gonna be like,
Right?
Mr. Montgomery.
Yeah. If my child goes to jail, I'm going to be one paying for it. Right?
So we're almost we just kind of touched on this very heavy topic lightly. We're gonna talk about this in depth.
But you know what?
We didn't even get through a lot of the information.
Being the fact that this is the beginning of school, and so I would say
There's so
put our
much
other
more.
things on agenda,
Yeah.
except for maybe Black History.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe we should put some other things on the back burner.
So you
as
wanna
we-
cover
and
this next
just-
week?
And really stay
Okay.
on this because this is very important. A
Yeah.
lot of this needs to get out so people can understand and know what's going
happening.
on.
'Cause
Yeah,
there's
and be aware.
there's a whole lot more happening.
Absolutely.
Because they just passed another law about not discriminating against kids based on their sex, gender, or which that should have never been happening in the first place.
Right.
But now they're mandating that when disciplining kids in school,
Right.
that school officials cannot consider any of those discriminatory factors to base their decisions on, which leads me to believe that that was happening. If they're saying we're mandating you school districts not to use, you know, their sex, their language, their gender, you know,
I see.
their
I see what you're
race,
saying. Yes.
you know, their
Oh, definitely.
religion,
Most definitely.
you know,
Most definitely.
right. So if they're because I thought it was already a thing. You can't discriminate based on these things.
It's been
But
said
now
that
they
you
just
shouldn't.
passed this
Yeah, it was saying that
a few
you
weeks ago.
shouldn't. But yeah, they
Yeah.
were. Yeah, it's still
So
happening.
so next week we're going to stay on this topic and we're going to talk about communicating with your child's school and with your child. We're going to talk about how you should get involved and participate. We're going to talk about the materials that are being given and how you should be receiving them in the language that you understand. We're going to talk about being accountable, report cards, what does it look like. We're going to talk about how you can volunteer, how you can prepare your child, and a whole lot more. So we thank you so much for listening to WYGG Good News Radio, this segment of Family Matters. If you missed us today, you can hear us again tomorrow from 3 to 4 on WYGG 88.1 FM, or you can go on Facebook, WYGG. And don't forget to leave a comment or like us when you do go to Facebook. So thank you, listeners. We hope that you were actively engaged in this meaningful discussion to help promote, empower communication, education, empower, encouragement, and elevate our community. So until next time, be well, stay safe, and have a good time with your families. All right.
Listen, I just want to throw one last thing out there, and something I was thinking about when we opened up our YouTube program and Facebook. Just want to know if you would be interested in an ASL class, and us teaching ASL or English to our listeners as well.
You mean ESL?
Yes, I'm sorry, ESL.
It's ASL.
Excuse me,
Although I
ESL.
do know some ASL.
Yes.
Yes.
ESL. I'm sorry. I'm caught up on that. ESL, English Second Language classes. If you would be interested in us teaching you some English classes during one of our programs, excuse me, by all means, give us a shout out and let us know. All right. Thank you very much. This is Monty.
And Ella.
Have a wonderful evening, a great day, and a great weekend, a great Labor Day weekend.
All right.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir tout le monde. Bye bye.
We all can agree that raising a family in these times is challenging. With everything being so exposed and accessible through social media and the influence that come along with it, how do we find the balance?
Does your child feel confined and has no outlet?
Sasha, meet me in the bathroom so we can take our Instagram pics, because you know once I get home they won't let me out.
Would your child come to you when they need help?
Mom, I'm in trouble and I don't know what to do.
Do you know the signs when your child is crying out for help?
Mickelson, you don't listen. The school has called me and now I have to attend another school meeting. This time you lose your video games for 2 months.
Do you and your family need access to resources?
I lost my job. How will we get our bills paid?
Does your family have expectations and boundaries for mutual respect and understanding?
I am the man of the house, but my family does not respect me.
Finally, a show where families can feel supported and get resources for guidance during these troubled times. Presented to you by Good News Community Action. Family Matters, a radio show, aired every Saturday afternoon from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. A new segment discussing all things and situations relating to families. Family Matters Discussions, a radio show for everyone to listen together.
This is WYGG 88.1 FM, Asbury Park. This is WYGG 88.1 FM, Asbury Park.